It's time for the Mix at 6. Counting down the top hip-hop and R&B songs in the country. The Mix 88.9, Lynchburg's #1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul and reggae.
Shock the system. Vibe Club for life.
Welcome back from the weekend. How was your weekend? How was everyone's weekend? Mine was phenomenal. I cannot complain about my weekend. I was safe. I relaxed. I had a good time. This weekend was a one to remember, I must admit. But before we get into the details of my weekend and your weekend as well, it's 6 o'clock. I am Kalel Creed, the suntan Superman of the Mix 88.9, and we are here for the Mix at 6, where I bring you the top 6 hip-hop hits in the land, along with entertainment news, random nonsense, and whatever comes to my mind, because who knows what that's going to be. And we are all here at Lynchburg's #1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, the Mix 88.9, for another week. Another week of positivity, because we are here at the palace of positivity that we have cultivated together, that is known as Vibe Club. And I couldn't be more happy to be back. I couldn't be more happy to be back behind this mic, because I've missed it. When I'm away from y'all for a couple of days, I miss it. I miss talking. Because this is my therapy. This is how I get a lot of my feelings out, a lot of how I'm thinking, because I don't talk to a lot of people. So this is like the only time I get to vent. But when I don't do it, I miss it. So I'm glad to be back this Monday morning. While I'm thinking about it, thank everyone who came out to Bull Daddy's this past Friday for Let's Grow Fridays. Let's Grow Fridays. Thank y'all for coming out. We had a good time out there. There were 0 issues. Well, that's not true. Well, it wasn't really an issue. We had a couple of people get really drunk. Really, really drunk. And I'm talking about like the story I told y'all about my last time getting drunk. We had one guy passed out from being so drunk. Like we had to put out 2 people, but it wasn't an issue. Like they didn't fight back or, nothing crazy. They were just overserved. They couldn't be there, so they had to go. And it's not Bull Daddy's fault, because one guy showed up like that. I'm not sure about the other guy. I didn't see him when he came in, but one guy showed up. He was already messed up, but he just went to sleep. So. But other than that, it was a good time. No issues. Everybody had a good time. Nice little crowd. So join us. Let's Grow Fridays, Appomattox, Virginia. Bull Daddy's Bar and Restaurant. Great food. I keep getting the chicken quesadilla when I go there. There's jalapenos and cheese and onions and all that stuff in it. And it's so good. It's so good for when you're done bouncing or done doing security and you get home and you can just heat it up and then eat it. Am I the only one who doesn't eat their food until they find something to watch on TV? Because I do that a lot. Like I'll have food, I have it ready to go, and then my food is just sitting there until I find something to watch on TV. I do that a lot. I do that like every meal. Every time I go to eat something, I won't eat until I find something to watch. That, and I play spades on my phone, so I'll do that too. I'll play spades on my phone and then find something to watch, but I can't eat before then. Like not a bite. I can't take a bite until I find something to watch. But yeah, that's just one of my quirks. I don't know if it's it might be. I'm sure I'm not the only one though. I'm sure it's not just me who does that, who can't eat until they find something to watch. I don't know why that is. I don't know where it started or why it started, but yeah, it's a part of my life now. But anyway, like I said, I had a great weekend. The girls, well, all the kids everybody was gone, so the house was empty. So I had a very good time on Saturday with an empty house. Had nobody knocking on my door, nobody running around the house. So I was just in my room and having a great time in my room this past Saturday. It was a good time. It was stress free, and that's the most that's rare that happens, that I have a stress free weekend where I don't have to think about anything, don't have to do anything, just can sit back and recharge. And we all need that. We all deserve time to exhale, to sit back and just recharge and get ourselves together, because you can be going and not realize how much you're going. Like, how often do you do something for you? You know, somebody told me that this past weekend, like, you know, they say you do so much, but when do you do something for you? And they were right. They were 1,000% right. And I think y'all should think about that too. Like, how often do you do something just for you? You know, and that's why I say we should normalize being able to tell people no. And it should be okay. If someone tells you no, they can't do something, it should be okay. So I think we should normalize that, because we should always, you know, take care of ourselves first and foremost, because it's important. It's important. But we're here for the Mix at 6. I am Kalel Creed, of course, and I will be giving you the top 6 hip-hop hits in the land. So let's go ahead and hop into this countdown with our number 6 song. Here is Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Baby, Do We Have a Problem? Here on the Mix at 6, and we're here at Lynchburg's #1 station for hip-hop and R&B. Soul and reggae is the Mix, 88.9. And we are back here on the Mix at 6. I am your host, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's #1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul and reggae, the Mix, 88.9. And that was our number 6 song, Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Baby with Do We Have a Problem? Now, we have to talk about Kamari Oliver. Who is Kamari Oliver, Creed? That's a good question. I'm glad you're paying attention. Kamari Oliver is a young man who isn't good at committing crimes. Now, if you're gonna commit crimes, that's cool. That's fine. I would advise against it. But if that's your thing, everybody has their own thing, and I'm not mad at you for it. But if you're gonna commit crimes, especially murders or, you know, home invasions or anything really, be good at it. Be very good at it. Now, it's what am I trying to say? It's easy for me to sit here and talk about and look at it, you know, hindsight being 2020, me looking at it and saying, well, maybe you should have did this or maybe you should have did that. But it's some things that don't require hindsight. It's certain things where you're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that because you're not good at this. So, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's just listen to the news report and I'll let them explain it to you.
So Joe, police say a man accused in a home invasion left his math homework in the getaway car.
Okay, that's one of the details in a new police report of an incident that left a woman dead. 18-year-old Kamari Oliver faces several charges, including open murder. Police say last month, Oliver, along with 2 others, entered the victim's home near Robindale and Jones to rob it. The woman, now identified as Natalie Muntley, pulled out a gun and shot at them. Metro says at least one of those suspects shot back and hit her multiple times. The victim's boyfriend says the group saw the group leaving and rammed their car with his own into a nearby wall. That group did get away, but police found a backpack in the car with that math homework we talked about earlier. Police arrested Oliver a few days later when he showed up to school.
Now, I must start off by saying there is nothing funny nothing funny at all about this young lady losing her life over the dumb decisions that these teenagers made. And I need to say that before I say everything else I'm going to say, because it's going to veer into the humorous, but it's not aimed at her tragic situation. Anyway, this dummy, Kamari Oliver, and two of his dumb friends, and what am I doing? What am I doing? I forgot, and that's on me. We have something for this situation and something for these individuals.
Dummy, yeah.
Dummy indeed. 3 dummies riding together doing dummy stuff, and one dummy leaves his homework in a car, in the getaway car.
Dummy, yeah.
So when he goes to school on Monday, he gets arrested because his name and stuff is on his homework. His Chromebook is in his backpack. Everything that can identify you is in your backpack. You leave it in the getaway car, and you're shocked when you get arrested.
Dummy, yeah.
I don't see how that's possible. I don't see where the shock comes in. I don't see where the surprise comes in. Like I said, if you're not good at doing the crimes, don't do the crimes. It's really that simple. Find anything else to do. You're a teenager. I'm sure you have video games. I'm sure you have other means of expressing yourself. I don't know if you were coerced into it. I don't know if it was the peer pressure. I don't know. I don't know what made you so bored that y'all thought that y'all could pull this off. But obviously, you couldn't. You couldn't, because you don't remember things like, don't leave my backpack in the getaway car with all of my information on everything in the book bag. That should be step 1 when you're committing the crimes. Don't leave evidence. But I hope you get everything you deserve, because you do deserve all the jail time. But we'll let it go right there. Let's get back into this countdown. Let's get into this number 5 song. Here is Doja Cat and The Weeknd with You Right. Here on The Mix at 6, here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul and reggae, The Mix 88.9. And we are back here on The Mix at 6. I am your host, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul and reggae, The Mix 88.9. And that was our number 5 song, Doja Cat and The Weeknd with You Right. Tory Lanez. Let's talk about Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez released a song called Mucky James, talking about Kalani, Meg Thee Stallion, and Meek Mills. As a matter of fact, here is a sample of that song.
I done blackballed me for money, but I ain't going now. I told myself I started this bullshit, should not speak up more. I done had to go through way more bullshit here than endure. And these bitches try to play me out like they ain't know my name. I was at a high in my career, you think I come out here? And if you think I would do this shit, you want some stupid shit. Don't need to do that, bitch. My Haitian hoes a woo a bitch. I can't lie, temporarily that bitch came and ruined shit. They can't believe I'm back pop.
Now, the problem with that is he's on a court order. The judge issued a court order where he cannot talk about Meg Thee Stallion. This goes back to the case where, well, the case that's still pending and still going on, where I have to say alleged because nothing's been official right now. Allegedly, he shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot a couple of years ago. And since then, he makes Facebook posts, and it sounds kind of clownish, the stuff that he does, and it seems like he's doing it for attention, but he's not supposed to be talking about it. Like, how hard is it? Okay, I'm gonna try not to go off on a tangent or anything like that, but why is it so important that y'all young folks have to tell your business? You have to say something, you have to talk, you have to respond, you have to, even when no one's asking you, you have to do things to bring attention to yourself. Is it that important that someone pays attention to you, like, at all times, even at the cost of possibly your freedom? Because he was arrested. He was already arrested for social media posts he made about her, and it seems like he just hasn't learned his lesson. You know, he released something. I read something where he's talking about don't let people silence you. My guy, you're going back to jail because you can't stop talking. Like, what's the end goal? Is the end goal to get people on your side because you're doing it the wrong way? You're going about it the wrong way. Like, just don't talk about her. Like, it's not how much power. I mean, how much, you know? Yeah, well, that's what it is. How much power does she have over you? Like, how much is she in your head that you have to discuss her? You know, it seems like at every turn you have something to say. Even when, like, he was making comments about other things that had nothing to do with him when, like, other situations were going on. This happened a couple weeks back, but I can't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember him commenting some, like, real clownish stuff, I guess, to get attention. And I don't understand the need for attention these days from younger people. Well, it's not just younger people, older people do it too. I know people my age that need attention also and do stuff to get attention, but I just never understood that need to have everybody look at me. I never understood that. I never understood why that was so important. I never knew. I don't know. That has to be something deep rooted. It has to come from a different place, or be, you know, it has to be something else. So I don't know. I'm not here to judge, but it's just, it makes you look bad. It doesn't look good when you are doing these things and, you know, doing stuff of this nature. Is seemingly just to get attention, seemingly just to, I don't know if you want to try to play a victim or get pity or what. I don't know, but it just feels kind of clownish. But later in the song, he went on to discuss Kalani and Meek Mill. Well, Meek Mill first and then Kalani. And here's what he had to say.
He used to be my dog, he did some flunkish to me. And when I brought it up, look, I wouldn't even talk about it. Ain't beefing with your cuz, I swear I'm more hurt than anything. I'm at this point in life where I don't stress the petty thing. With all these rocks on my finger, they look like wedding rings. Sometimes I think about Kalani and how we ended things. When I express myself, I know that I can choose my words a little better. But I'm back out to the wall, you know the world against me. When your back is to the wall, you just lose all affection. Sitting in rooms full of smiles, I know they all against you. But as long as you don't die, we'll make you strong.
So I guess we'll wait to see what comes out of this, you know, either way, like what's gonna happen, because I'm sure the judge is not happy about that. I'm sure that Megan's lawyers are gonna say something, because you put a song out, everybody can hear you. Do you know people can hear you? Doesn't seem like you know people can hear you. So I don't know, but people can hear you. And then if he ends up back in jail, is he going to play the victim again? Is it going to be like a poor me type situation? Like, no. You're bringing it on yourself. You're doing stuff to bring it on yourself. And you get what you pay for. Like, you are asking for attention, and then you're going to get the attention that you want. Then you're going to be in jail, and nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You're going to try to get bail. It's not going to happen, because the judge is going to get sick of it, because they, you know, being out on bond is, you know, pretty much a second chance to, you know, stay from being in jail. But it seems like you aren't listening. But oh well, I guess we'll see what happens. Let's get back into this countdown. That's all I can control. Here is the number 4 song. Here is Rod Wave with Dark Clouds here on the Mix at 6. I am your host, Kalel Creed, the suntan Superman of the Mix 88.9, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip hop and R&B, soul and reggae, the Mix 88.9. And we are back on the Mix at 6. I, of course, am your host, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip hop and R&B, soul and reggae, the Mix 88.9. And that was our number 4 song, Rod Wave with Dark Clouds. You know it's not dark. You know it's not gonna be dark. You know it was not gonna involve dark clouds. The second annual One Family Soul Food and Funk Festival that I'm never going to stop telling y'all about until we have it, until all of you go buy your tickets, because it's going down Saturday, July 16th at Riverfront Park in Lynchburg, Virginia. The lineup is crazy. The lineup is legendary. The lineup is everything that you will need to have a great afternoon. It includes Lakeside, EU, Sean Millie, the Mix 88.9's own Jasmine Ray and her band, The Drive, Melissa Morgan, special guests, Full Force, which I am so hyped about. I cannot wait to meet them. And this is all headlined by the one and only Life Jennings. Go over to the mixradio.online and get your $35 tickets now while they're still available, because once we sell out, we're done. Once we sell out, we are done, and you don't want to be on the outside looking in. Go over to the mixradio.online right now and get your tickets for the second annual One Family Soul Food and Funk Festival presented by the Mix 88.9, and we're going to be there too. All of the personalities of the Mix 88.9 are going to be there. All the ones you hear throughout the day, because I know for a fact I'm not the first voice you hear. I'm not the first voice you hear on this app. And if I am the only voice you hear on this app, you are missing out. You are missing out. It's going to be hosted by Ray Daniels, who headlines our morning show early in the morning, 6 to 10. The Ray Daniels Morning Show. That's followed by the one and only. I am the biggest fan of this girl, Jasmine Ray. Midday with Jasmine Ray. She got you covered from 10 to 2. Then after that, my uncle comes on. DJ H. Vidal with DJ H. Vidal in the afternoon. He got you covered from 2 to 6. Then at 6. At 6, what happens? What happens, boys and girls? You know what happens at 6 o'clock. It's me. It's Kalel Creed, the suntan Superman of the Mix 88.9, and I bring you Vibe Club featuring the Mix at 6 from 6 to 7. And then at 10 o'clock, it's time to smooth it out. It's time to smooth it out. It's time to relax. It's time to wind it down, because the legendary Shifty J, the one and only Shifty J, the Barry White of the Mix 88.9, comes on for the romantic rendezvous. The romantic rendezvous where you cuddle up with someone you love and you let him take y'all to Space Mountain, because that's what he does each and every day. We're here Monday through Friday. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But on the weekend, we have a whole different crew. But we'll get into that later in the week, because that weekend crew is crazy. That weekend crew is off the yowzer bumps. So they deserve their own stage. But for Monday through Friday, this is the main team that has you covered. Ray Daniels, Jasmine Ray, DJ H. Vidal, me, your boy, and Shifty J. We take care of you Monday through Friday. What more can you ask for? And it's all free. All you gotta do is download the app. Go to the mixradio.online to listen to a stream, or go to your Google Play or Apple App Store and download the Mix 88.9 and just click the button. It's free, and we're here. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So go over to the mixradio.online, get your tickets for the second annual One Family Soul Food and Funk Festival, because we're all going to be there. We're all going to be there, and it's going to be a good time, and you don't want to be on the outside looking in. So go get your tickets while we have them available. I'm trying to warn y'all. I'm trying to warn you now. Now, a little bit of sad news to get into. I heard about this actually after I recorded the show on Friday. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was killed. He was killed in an accident on the freeway. I guess he was walking on the freeway. I'm not sure what happened. I'm assuming something like, his vehicle broke down and he was walking and he got hit by, I think it was a semi-truck, and he was killed. So that was like days after signing his new contract with the Steelers. He started off with the Washington football team, now the Washington Commanders, and it didn't really pan out. So he got, he ended up being released from his contract and got picked up by the Steelers. And just after signing his new contract, he was killed. So definitely, condolences and positive energy to his family at this very difficult time. He was very, very young, too young to be taken. But, all the positive energy I can send to him and his family, I do so at this time. But let's go ahead and hop back into this countdown. Let's get into this number 3 song. Here is Doja Cat featuring SZA with Kiss Me More here on the Mix at 6, here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, The Mix 88.9. And we are back here on the Mix at 6. I am your host, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, The Mix 88.9. And that was our number 3 song, Doja Cat featuring SZA with Kiss Me More. T.I., we all know that T.I. is trying his hand at stand-up. T.I. is not what I think of when I think of a comedian, but everybody has a different calling. If you have a passion about something and you want to go for it, if you want to try it, who am I to say that you can't do it? Just because I can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. So if this is his dream and he's going for it, I am all for it. It didn't go well though. He performed at the April Fool's Comedy Jam and he got booed. Now this is all part of the game. This is not, it's not a big deal. It's not it's not a career changer. The best comedians have been booed before, but I do have audio from it, and here is that audio.
Fight back.
I tell you what,
fight back.
Indy, I know, I got an advantage. I wish that motherfucker would, you sorry, ungrateful motherfucker. Wood, hell is you talking about? You got the right one, man. I really do appreciate, hey listen man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I love you motherfucker more than you ever know. This is something that I enjoy doing, and I appreciate y'all allowing me the opportunity to stand up and do what I love.
Now, DJ Envy was actually DJing there. DJ Envy, of course, is one of the hosts of The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and Angela Yee, and he actually discussed, being there and what happened.
I will say this, when he came out, the crowd was super duper excited to see him. They did start booing him, and not like the low boos, the boo boos, and
the boo boo.
Nah, because some people are like, how was the boos? No, they booed. It was booed. And he stood his ground. He stood there his whole 15-minute set. He did not waver. He did his full set, and then right at the end, he turned around, Envy, play something. I got an advantage. He played it, and then he kind of went at the crowd, and the crowds, they went from booing, and then they all stood up, and then kind of him a standing ovation. It was
you thank them for booing him. You can't get upset.
It was the craziest thing, but he stood his ground.
And that's all you really can do, right? That's all you really can do, because it's going to be nights like that where things don't really go your way. It happens. It's a part of the game. It's part of anything you do. You can't expect to go through things and things always be perfect. Things always, turn out the way you want them to turn out, because that's just not I don't want to say feasible, but it's just not realistic. I think that's a better word to put on it. It's not realistic to think that everything's going to go perfect, especially with comedy. Comedy is all about timing and delivery, and you have to figure it out. It's easy to say something like to a small percentage and it be funny, but it's different in those bigger venues and stuff like that. So you got to figure out your spacing. You got to figure out how to make it work, and you can't take it personal. Like it's how you get better. These times are how you get better. But he said that it's a dream of his to do, and I am all about going for something that you're passionate about and something that you love about. I am all about chasing those dreams, and like I said, just because somebody else can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. It's a process. It's a process. Well, he explained the boos T.I. did, and here's what he had to say.
What joke started the booze? What joke was okay, I tell you what it was. A part of my set was, if anybody hear a word they don't understand, raise your hand and I give you the definition. The word was anonymity. The conversation was, fame sucks, enjoy your anonymity as long as you can. Someone raised their hand. Anonymity is the act of remaining anonymous. As soon as I gave the definition, boo.
Then he went on to discuss performing in New York again, like if he would actually come back and do it again. And here's what he had to say.
I'm here for that.
You here for all that smoke, the New York smoke?
I'm here for that. My only question to you, if you get booed and have a standing ovation, do they cancel each other out?
Well, somebody have to show the standing ovation. The only thing online right now,
I mean, hey, bro, everybody, it was a sold-out crowd. Therefore, we'll have an opportunity to, I'm sure to come out eventually. Bad news sell way faster than the good news, so I'm sure.
But you got to get back up. You got to go back up there. You got to do it again. Like it's hard. It's hard being in front of a crowd. Some people don't, do public speaking well, and that's important. You got to know how to speak in public and things of that. Not saying that he doesn't. Not saying that this applies to him. I'm just talking about like overall, like how the process works. Like even with something like what I'm doing. People tell me all the time that they want to do what I do and they want to be on the radio and they want to have a show and they want to do a podcast and they want to. It's not easy. It's not as easy as turning the mics on and talking. It's really not. It's a lot that goes into it, and I've seen people come in and want to be on the radio with me and just freeze up. Like just freeze up when they get in front of the microphone. And I understand why it can be intimidating. It can be a lot to know that everyone's listening to what you're saying. And you slip up, they're gonna hear it. If you mess up, they're gonna hear it. Like, and that's the same thing with being on stage. It's the same thing with doing anything. Like, all the attention is on you. All of the ears are on you. Like, you gotta perform. And then on top of that, you have to be funny. Like, I think I'm funny, but I don't have to be funny. Like this show doesn't hinge on me being funny. It just hinges on me having words fall out of my mouth until it's time to play another song. That's the gist of it. I try to be entertaining, and some people tell me I'm entertaining, but it doesn't hinge on that. So it adds an extra layer of pressure when you're up there on the stage and you have to be funny. You have to deliver because they're here for these jokes. They're here for them giggles. So you gotta show up. But it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of learning. He'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get back into this countdown, though. Let's get into this number 2 song. Here is DJ Kalel featuring Lil Baby and Lil Durk, Every Chance I Get, here on the Mix at 6. And we're here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, The Mix 88.9. And we are back here on the Mix at 6. I, of course, am your host, the suntan Superman of the Mix 88.9, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, The Mix 88.9, and that was our number 2 song. DJ Khaled featuring Lil Baby and Lil Durk, Every Chance I Get. And every chance that I get, I'm going to remind y'all to go get them tickets. Go over to the mixradio.online right now to get your tickets to the 2nd annual One Family Soul Food and Funk Festival presented to you by the Mix 88.9. You're going to see the likes of Lakeside, EU, Sean Millie, Melissa Morgan, The Drive, special guest Full Force, all headlined by the one and only Life Jennings, as well as all of us, hosted by Ray Daniels. Go over to the mixradio.online right now to get your tickets. Now, before I get into the number 1 song, as always, let me take a second to thank some of our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
And we are back here on the Mix at 6. I am your host, Kalel Creed, and we are here at Lynchburg's number 1 station for hip-hop and R&B, soul, and reggae, The Mix 88.9, and that was our number 1 song. Gunna and Future featuring Young Thug with Pushin' P. Well, it's about time to wrap up this part. It's about time to wrap up the Mix at 6, but you don't have to worry because I am here with you until 10 o'clock with Vibe Club. But to put a neat little bow on this, let me go into my daily spiel. Let people know we're here. Help us spread the word, and the way you can do that is let people know to download the app. Let them know they can go to their Google Play, Apple App Store, search the Mix 88.9, and let them know that I'm here Monday through Friday for the Mix at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to take care of them. They can follow us on social media. Facebook and Instagram, the Mix 88.9, and on Twitter, the Mix 8991. You can follow me on social media. If you've enjoyed my voice, if you've enjoyed this voice flowing through your speakers and hugging you, you feel safe. It's like a warm hug. You can do so. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord, all under one name, Kalel Creed DB. If you want to catch up on past episodes, or you came in late to this one and you want to catch up on this one, I got you covered. Don't worry about it. Put your hands down. I'm going to tell you what to do. Go over to YouTube or Facebook. It's on Facebook also, but go over to YouTube. Search the Fortress of Awesometude. That's AWESOMETUDE. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell so you're notified when I upload, which is every day. I try to do it every single day, Monday through Friday. This episode goes live at 7 o'clock over there and on Facebook. And while you're there, just hang out. Dig around. I have all kind of videos over there. Comedy skits, gaming videos. I do a little bit of everything. So have fun. Deep dive. Take your time. Take your shoes off. Just clean up after yourself when you leave. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell. But that's going to wrap it up for the Mix at 6 only. You don't have anywhere to go, though, because I am going to take you from here. We're walking right through the doors into Vibe Club, where I'm going to get you in the mood you need to be in. At 10 o'clock is Shifty J with the Romantic Rendezvous. So sit tight, let's have a good time, and let's get ready for Vibe Club.